I'm really excited today, my friends, because I have a new phone to tell you about. I've been using OnePlus since the old OnePlus 3. I love their design and their phone series. So today we have the NORD, the OnePlus NORD 2T, which is the newest variation for the NORD series. It's a budget phone for people who need to have some good specs when it comes to the processing power, the camera, and I'm going to tell you all about my experiences because I've been using it for 3 weeks now. So first of all, I want to show you just what you're going to get in the box. I have everything unboxed as I've been using it. You get the phone cover here, which is nice. You get this amazing 80-watt quick charger, which really gets the job done and really charges up your phone really quickly. You can see that 80-watt labeling over here, and you also get a long USB-C cable, which actually uses the USB Type-C, USB 2.0 Type-C plug on the phone itself. Here is the phone itself. It's a 6.4-inch display. I really like that size. I think it's the best size you can get right now when choosing a new mobile phone, and after using it for 3 weeks, you can really feel the difference between this and a 6.7 inch, which is what I was using before that. So the screen here has a refresh rate of 90 Hertz. It's really fast. It's a fast phone, and I'm also going to compare it when it comes to performance in a moment to some of the other phones that we checked on this channel. And as you can see, I have a lot of apps on it. There are two things I don't like on the Oxygen OS system, and one of them has to do with the menu system. So for example, if you open up the apps menu, the search navigation is going to be here, the search form, and usually when I just one hand this phone or any other phone, I want to get to the search function quickly because I have a lot of apps, so I do have to use two hands for this. So that's not something that I really like, but hey, that's probably the only thing I don't like about the Oxygen OS. And you do get Android 12 on this. The camera array is interesting. You get a main camera sensor over here that is a 1.56 inch. It's a good sensor. It's an updated 2022 sensor from Sony. And sorry for my English, by the way, I am doing this in multiple languages. I hope I don't kill the language too much. And you also get an ultra wide, which is an 8 megapixel sensor, 8 megapixel size sensor, which is not that good. I really like to have a 10 megapixel on it, but still, you know, having an ultra wide is a big thing. A depth sensor, which is basically something that you don't really use these days, at least I don't. And that's about it. The selfie camera is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. It's on the side, so if you're going to buy this for your grandmother, just make sure she knows that, because usually some people that don't understand that the camera is on the side, they take video like this, and then you only see half of their face on video chat. So let's just go and see some specs, and I'm also going to show you a lot of the videos and photos that I took with this mobile phone. So as you can see right now, I have a comparison of all the mobile phones I tested during 2022, and this is the OnePlus NORD 2T. Here I have the MediaTek Dimensity 1300 CPU on the phone, and that's interesting because it's the first time I'm actually seeing that CPU. I also had in the past the MediaTek Dimensity 920 on the Vivo V23, so I can really compare the results right now. I did all the tests I could think of. So looking at the Geekbench CPU test, I got 2,777 on the multi-core test and 757 on the single core. Now that's interesting because that's basically saying that this mid-range phone is basically better than most of the mid-ranges I tested. Some of the other mid-ranges, they got 2,000 on the multi-core, 1,000 or 1,850 on the multi-core over here. That specifically is the Samsung A33, and the A53 got 1,796. So we are looking at a phone that costs as much as these phones, but delivers a lot more CPU power. In terms of 3D results and video results, we see that also here we get better results than other mid-ranges that I tested. I got 27 average FPS on the 3D Mark test and a score of 4,568. That's more than double than what I got on the Vivo V23 and the Samsung mid-rangers, the A53 and the 33. So good results when it comes to mid-range phone. The only thing I kind of found out which was kind of interesting is the Antutu test. Here I got a better result than the other mid-ranges. I got 6,000 and 1,600 and 13,000 when it comes to the scoring. The flagships nowadays, they give you a million, almost a million. So this is going to be 30% less when it comes to performance. And you can see here, this is the degrees when it comes to how much heat I got when actually using this phone and testing it. So I got up to 38.6 degrees. That's really hot. That's almost as hot as the OnePlus 10, which is basically a really hot phone. So the OnePlus 10 got, this is the OnePlus 10 Pro test, got 38.9 degrees hot. I got 48.6 on this one, and it's a 5.7 degrees change from idle. So I got a really hot phone when using this CPU, this MediaTek Dimensity 1300. That's not a good thing, and I don't like that. But that's something I gotta tell you guys after using the phone. And it doesn't get that hot when you use it on a daily use, just when you really use it with heavy apps or games. So the battery usage was 4%. That's also an average score, not something really interesting to talk about. This score is basically how much percentages I lost during the Antutu test. And some phones actually, as you can see here, they lose only 2% or 3%. This phone lost 4%, but the OnePlus 10 Pro actually lost 5%. So it even got worse results when it comes to battery. The battery here is a 4,500 milliamps. Battery. I actually wish there was more here. There's no wireless charging. There's no IP rating. And the pricing here is good. I think that having this phone at around $400 is where you want to buy a mid-range phone. That's a good price for a mid-range phone. I'm going to put links in the video description for you guys to see an updated pricing. It's an 80 watt charging, and we are going to check the camera array right now, because that's the only thing I think we didn't talk about. So let's go ahead and see some of the photos and videos that I took. So first of all, I'm going to go all the way back to the first photo. I like the main camera on this. I really like this. These are some of the food shots that I took, and as you can see, you do get blurry background on this. If you move on, I have two photos over here. One of them is going to be with the ultra wide, the other one is going to be with the primary camera. As you can see, still blurry background on the primary camera. It really got the focus on the eyes. I love this photo of my dog. And when moving on to the next photo with the ultra wide, you can see it's a bit over sharpened. I don't like the fact that this is basically this is an 8 megapixel camera. I would wish that this would be actually a 10 and up, but that's what we got here anyway. So two more photos. This is the primary camera. This is the ultra wide. You're gonna get a lot more detail with the primary camera, as you can see when I'm zooming in right now. And also when you do zoom in on the phone itself, you're gonna use the primary camera just cropped. You get amazing shots with this camera. It's a good sensor from Sony. I love it. It's on, I think this sensor is being used on more than 150 mobile phones right now, other than this one. So it's on a lot of phones. Even Xiaomi uses this on the Xiaomi 12. It's a good sensor and for your daily driver when taking photos. So two photos over here. As you can see, great colors, great focus, blurry background, everything you would have wanted. Also on this photo over here, this is the selfie camera. It's a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Also a Sony sensor, no blurry background here, which is something that some of you might want. This sensor is not large enough to produce that, but it gets you a good photo. A bit too sharpened, I guess, but still I would use this in social media and be happy with the results. By the way, the cake was really good, like really good. If you're seeing my videos for the first time, I actually invite you to subscribe to my channel so I can see you on my future gadget reviews. I have some cool stuff coming up. I really have some huge pile of gadgets on the side over there, so I hope I'll see you on my next videos. Moving back to the photos and videos that we took on the phone, you can see the colors here are amazing. I actually chose one of these books, and I took this photo of the pizza in the oven. As you can see, I took it in 4K 30 FPS. I love the videos on this. I didn't get really stable video here. Maybe that's because it's not using OIS. Who knows? for some reason the video is not that stable. Also, here is a video of my food. It's a bit more stable, but still I would probably just use a stabilize function on the Google Photos app or something, but I still like the results that I got when it comes to video with the main camera over here. Here's another video in the beach. As you can see, the people are having fun. It works great. I don't think there's too much colors on this. I would actually add some colors if I were to share this on social media or anything. When using the 1080p slow motion, as you can see, the ball really moves slowly over here. You get a bit more colors, but the resolution went down to 1080. So all in all, good results when it comes to videos and photos with this mobile phone. You're really probably gonna choose the main sensor for it, as it gives you the best result. When taking into perspective some of the other specs that we get with this mobile phone, the weight here is a huge deal. I mean, having a phone that weighs less than 200 grams is great. Some of the phones these days are more than a quarter of a kilo, 250 grams. So this one doesn't weight as much. I love the screen here. It's a good screen. There's not variable refresh rate, but 90 Hertz gets the job done. It's the sweet spot when it comes to fast screen refresh rate and slow. So I kind of like the 90 Hertz. It also supports HDR10+. I think the 6.43 inch is the sweet spot of screen sizes. I like that. Resolution here doesn't get to a too high resolution. It's 1080 by 2400. I think that's a good resolution. It doesn't get your CPU too much, doesn't make your CPU to do too much work to get the display correctly. So I like that. I wouldn't use a higher display resolution anyway on this screen size. I think it's a waste of processing power. 409 pixels per inch is enough for me. The only thing that I think is not the best is the Corning Glass Gorilla Glass version we got. It's 5 and not Victus. Great Android 12. Dimensity gets the job done, brings you a little bit more juice and power this year on this version. I actually have the 256 gigabytes version, the 12 gigabytes RAM, and it's great. There's no SD card support on this mobile phone, and that's something that you need to consider. Primary camera is great. Two of the other cameras, not that really. And also the selfie camera doesn't have the 4K video resolution, which is kind of a bummer, because sometimes you do use 4K on a selfie camera. You do get support for Wi-Fi 6 here and Bluetooth 5.2. The USB Type-C version on this is 2.0. If you don't know what this means, basically that means that when transferring files from the mobile phone and using the USB plug and not any wireless connectivity, you are limited when it comes to the speed on this plug. So that's something you might want to consider if you are like me, like doing reviews all the time and moving files from the phone to your computer. I also sometimes actually record with my mobile phone some of the videos that I include on my reviews. So moving them wirelessly or via internet takes more time than just using a cable and moving it through the cable. But when using USB 2.0, it's not as fast. Some of the other features here worth mentioning is the battery. We talked about it. Could be higher, should have been higher. And the fast charge, 80 watt, which is great. The fingerprint display, the fingerprint reader under display, optical, gets the job done, is great. I used it a lot and I use it on all of my phones, and it works great on this one. I'm guessing that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all of my experiences. I really like this phone. I think it's a really good mid-ranger when it comes to people having a budget of around $400 and it looks good. Also looks good. I like the colors. You're getting the case for it, which is also the cover, which is also really nice. So you're getting a lot for your money. Links in the video description down below. I hope you enjoyed this review. Click the like button if you did, and I'll see you on my future reviews. I have some more links to cool reviews I've done over here on my site. Thank you very much for watching. I was Rotordil. See you on my next reviews. Bye bye.